Over 65? 4 nuts you must eat and 4 you should stay away. Senior health. If you're over 65, there's something sitting quietly in your pantry that might be silently working against your body. Not medicine, not sugar. Nuts. Yes, something as small and harmless as a handful of nuts could be quietly damaging your heart, inflaming your joints, and even affecting your memory. You've probably heard people say, nuts are healthy. Eat more of them. But what they don't tell you is that not all nuts are created equal. In fact, some nuts can become dangerous as you age, especially after 65. A major study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology revealed something shocking. Certain types of nuts, when eaten regularly, were linked to inflammation, increased blood pressure, and even early signs of memory decline. And here's the part nobody talks about. Some of these so-called healthy nuts are often included in senior-friendly diet plans, even in low-carb or heart-smart meal ideas. One nut in particular, often found in trail mixes and recommended by wellness blogs, contains a compound that can harm your liver, weaken your kidneys, and even impact your brain function over time. And most seniors have it sitting in their kitchen right now. So before you grab another handful, you need to know which nuts are nourishing your body and which ones might be slowly wearing it down. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 4 best nuts for your heart, brain, and bones, and expose the 4 you should absolutely avoid, especially if you're over 65. One of them is probably in your snack bowl right now, and it may be doing more harm than good. Stick with me until the very end, because the number 1 nut to avoid is not only dangerous, it can also interfere with over 60% of medications seniors take daily. Let's start with the good ones. The nuts that truly support your health, inside and out. Number 4. Almonds. Let's begin with one of the most underrated protectors of your bones and heart. Almonds. These aren't just a crunchy snack. They are quiet guardians of your health, especially after 65. As we age, our bones begin to lose density. The risk of fractures, osteoporosis, and long healing times all rise. But almonds are packed with calcium, a mineral your body needs to keep bones strong. And even more importantly, almonds contain magnesium. Why is that a big deal? Because calcium alone isn't enough. Without magnesium, your body struggles to absorb it into your bones. Instead, it may end up in your arteries, where it hardens and increases your risk of heart problems. Magnesium is like the key that opens the door, guiding calcium where it's actually needed, your bones. Now, let's talk about the heart. The fats in almonds aren't the kind that clog your arteries. They're monounsaturated fats, the heart-healthy kind, that actually help lower bad cholesterol. Every handful is fighting for your heart, not against it. But that's not all. Almonds are rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that slows bone loss and protects your cells from damage. And what about your brain? A study by Tufts University found that almonds help protect the brain against oxidative stress, which plays a key role in memory loss and cognitive decline. Even the skin of the almond is special. It contains flavonoids, natural compounds that boost antioxidant power and strengthen your immune system. Now, you might be thinking, but almonds are hard to chew. You're right, but you don't need to give up on them. Seniors with sensitive teeth or dentures can go for sliced almonds, or try unsweetened almond butter. You still get the same benefits without the chewing struggle. So next time you're reaching for a snack, remember, almonds don't just fill your stomach. They protect your bones, your heart, and your brain, one bite at a time. But the next nut on our list? It's even more powerful for your mind. Let's talk about a brain booster you don't want to miss. Number 3. Walnuts. Now, If there's one nut that seems tailor-made for the brain, it's the walnut. And just look at it. It even looks like a tiny brain. But this isn't just coincidence. Walnuts are packed with compounds that deeply support brain health. Especially important after 65, when memory, focus, and processing speed start to decline. One of the key players in walnuts is ALA, alpha-linolenic acid. It's a type of plant-based omega-3 fatty acid, and it's essential for keeping brain cells flexible, active, and communicating properly. Studies have shown that regular intake of ALA may reduce brain inflammation, which is a major contributor to memory loss and even dementia. In fact, a recent study in the Journal of Nutrition showed that seniors who ate walnuts regularly had better processing speed and cognitive flexibility. Two things that often fade with age. And there's more. Walnuts are also loaded with polyphenols, natural compounds that help shield the brain from oxidative stress, protecting it from early signs of Alzheimer's and age-related mental decline. But walnuts don't stop at the brain. They're also powerful allies for your heart. They contain arginine, an amino acid that helps relax blood vessels and improves circulation. Better circulation means better delivery of oxygen and nutrients, not just to your heart, but to every organ. And for those on heart medications, walnuts may even help enhance their effectiveness, making your treatments work even better. Now, here's a tip. Walnuts contain natural oils that can go rancid over time. So if you're buying them in bulk, store them in the fridge. It'll keep them fresh and preserve their nutrients. How many should you eat? Just 7 to 9 walnut halves a day. That's all it takes to unlock these benefits. And here's something fun. Cracking open walnuts by hand is not just nostalgic. It's great exercise for hand dexterity and joint flexibility, especially if you have arthritis. And that slight bitterness you taste, that's a sign of strong antioxidants. It means they're working. So if almonds are your bone protectors, walnuts are your mental shield. And next, let's talk about a nut that doesn't just help your heart. It can also sharpen your vision. Number 2, pistachios. If you're looking for a nut that supports your heart, protects your eyes, and goes easy on your joints, look no further than pistachios. These little green gems are more than just tasty snacks. They're loaded with powerful nutrients that cater directly to the needs of aging bodies. Let's start with the heart. Pistachios are naturally low in sodium, but high in potassium. This unique combination helps your body flush out excess salt, which in turn lowers blood pressure, a common concern for seniors. In fact, the effects of pistachios on blood pressure have been compared to some medications, but without the side effects. Now here's something even more fascinating. Pistachios are incredibly rich in lutein and zeaxanthin. These are antioxidants that specifically protect your eyes from age-related macular degeneration, a leading cause of vision loss after 60. They act like natural sunglasses for your eyes, filtering out harmful light and preserving sharpness. And what makes pistachios especially senior-friendly is how gentle they are on your teeth and gums. Unlike harder nuts, pistachios don't require a lot of effort to chew. And if you find fully closed shells tricky, look for half-open options, easier to handle, especially if you deal with arthritis. Now here's a fun fact. The act of shelling pistachios one by one helps you eat more mindfully. It slows you down, prevents overeating, and lets your body feel full with just the right portion. Speaking of portions, the ideal amount. Just about 49 pistachios, that's 1 ounce. If you're watching your salt intake, choose unsalted or lightly salted varieties. You'll still get the same crunch, the same benefits, without putting pressure on your heart. So while pistachios may not always get the spotlight, they quietly work in the background, supporting your heart, preserving your vision, and offering a soft, satisfying snack that respects your body's needs. But there's one nut left on our must-eat list. And this one. Just 1 or 2 a day can make a powerful difference in your energy, mood, and even your metabolism. Let's talk about the selenium-rich secret weapon. Number 1. Brazil nuts. If you've never paid much attention to Brazil nuts, you're not alone. But what you may not realize is that just 1 or 2 of these nuts a day can create a profound shift in your health, especially if you're over 65. The magic inside Brazil nuts lies in a mineral called selenium. And here's the truth. As we age, our selenium levels naturally decline. This is a serious concern because selenium is absolutely vital for your thyroid gland. Your thyroid controls your metabolism, your energy levels, and even your mood. When it slows down, and it often does with age, you may feel more tired, cold, forgetful, or even depressed. But Brazil nuts are nature's richest food source of selenium. Just one nut can deliver your entire daily requirement, and then some. And there's more. Selenium doesn't just energize you, it also protects your brain. Studies show that selenium can slow down cognitive decline by shielding your brain from oxidative stress and reducing harmful inflammation. In simple words, it helps your brain age slower. And for your heart, the healthy fats in Brazil nuts can support better cholesterol levels, while the fiber aids digestion and keeps things moving, something many seniors silently struggle with. But there's an important warning here. Brazil nuts are extremely high in selenium, which is good, but only in the right amount. Too much selenium can lead to toxicity over time, causing symptoms like hair loss, fatigue, and even nerve issues. So please, don't treat these like regular snacks. Limit yourself to just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts per day. That's all it takes. They're not meant to be a handful, they're meant to be a daily dose. So while they may look plain and simple, Brazil nuts are a secret weapon for thyroid balance, mental clarity, and energy support. Now you know the 4 nuts that are truly worth your time. But what about the ones you need to stay away from? Because coming up are the 4 nuts that can quietly harm your liver, spike your blood sugar, trigger inflammation, and even interfere with your medications. And the first one, you probably thought it was harmless. Number 4, peanuts. You've seen them everywhere. In snack bars, in jars, in peanut butter, in trail mixes. Peanuts seem harmless, comforting even. But here's something most people never realize. Peanuts aren't even real nuts. They're legumes, which means they grow underground and behave very differently inside the body than true tree nuts. Now, what's the danger? First, peanuts are extremely vulnerable to a toxic mold called aflatoxin. It's invisible, tasteless, odorless, and if you're not careful, you could be eating it without knowing. Aflatoxin is linked to liver damage, and in some studies, even liver cancer. And seniors? We're more vulnerable because our bodies don't detox as quickly as they used to. But that's not all. Peanuts are very high in omega-6 fatty acids. These fats aren't necessarily bad on their own. But when omega-6 outweigh omega-3s, and peanuts tip that balance, they trigger inflammation in the body. This is especially dangerous if you suffer from arthritis, joint pain, or inflammatory conditions. And let's not forget how peanuts are usually consumed. They're roasted in unhealthy oils, covered in salt, and sometimes even sugar, all of which drive up your blood pressure, increase bad cholesterol, and contribute to weight gain, a combination that raises your risk of heart disease. And peanut butter. Check the label. Most brands are loaded with hydrogenated oils, sugar, and preservatives, all of which put stress on your heart and blood sugar levels. So what's the takeaway? Peanuts may be cheap and familiar, but they can quietly introduce toxins, inflammation, and unhealthy fats into your body, especially when eaten frequently. And here's the scariest part. Most people think they're making a healthy choice by reaching for natural peanut snacks. But what they don't know is that the real risk hides in the processing. So if you care about your liver, your joints, and your heart, it might be time to reconsider what's in that jar. But the next nut on the avoid list? It's sweeter, creamier, and often seen as luxurious. Let's talk about the nut that could be hurting your blood sugar, your kidneys, and your bones. Cashews. Number 3. Cashews. Cashews. They're creamy, they're rich, and they feel like a gourmet choice. But if you're over 65, cashews might be doing more harm than good, especially if you're dealing with blood sugar, kidney, or bone health issues. Let's start with what most people never consider. Cashews are high in carbohydrates. Yes, much higher than most other nuts. They also have a higher glycemic index, which means they can spike your blood sugar faster than you'd expect. For seniors managing diabetes or pre-diabetic conditions, this spike can cause real damage over time. Fatigue, blurry vision, nerve issues, even heart strain. But that's not all. Cashews are rich in oxalates, a natural compound that may sound harmless, but actually interferes with calcium absorption. What does that mean for you? Your bones, already under pressure from aging, might not be getting the calcium they need. And to make matters worse, oxalates can increase the risk of kidney stones, something far more common in older adults than people realize. Now let's talk about how cashews are processed. Most of the cashews you buy are roasted in vegetable oils, often with added salt. These oils are inflammatory and can push up bad cholesterol and blood pressure. The exact opposite of what you want in a senior-friendly diet. Even salted or lightly salted versions can add unnecessary sodium to your day, sneakily increasing your risk of heart problems and water retention. So while they taste smooth and seem harmless, cashews can quietly sabotage your efforts to stay healthy. Blood sugar, kidney health, bone strength. All three can be affected by this one nut, especially when it becomes a regular part of your routine. If you love the texture of cashews, try swapping them with unsalted almonds or a light sunflower seed butter. It's not about giving up comfort, it's about protecting what matters most. And speaking of comfort, there's one nut that's incredibly rich, buttery, and surprisingly dangerous for those watching their cholesterol, gallbladder health, or weight. Let's talk about macadamia nuts next. Number 2. Macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts. They're often seen as high-end, delicate, buttery, a treat for the senses. But for seniors, especially those watching their cholesterol, weight, or gallbladder health, macadamias could quietly be working against you. Let's talk facts. Macadamia nuts are one of the highest calorie nuts on the planet. Just a small handful can contain over 200 calories, most of which come from saturated fats. Now, saturated fats aren't evil in moderation, but too much of them, especially for those over 65, can lead to weight gain, artery blockage, and an increased risk of heart disease. And here's where it gets tricky. Macadamia nuts are easy to overeat. They're soft, they're smooth, and they're addictive. You might think, just a few more won't hurt. But the calories and saturated fats stack up fast, and your heart pays the price. And if you've ever had gallbladder issues, you know how painful they can be. The high fat content in macadamias can trigger flare-ups or worsen symptoms, especially for those who've had gallstones or gallbladder removal. What's more, their hard texture can be a challenge for seniors with sensitive teeth or dentures. One wrong bite, and you could end up with a chipped tooth or sore gums. And let's be honest, these nuts are often found in candies, cookies, and salted snack mixes. So not only are you getting saturated fats, but often a dose of added sugar and sodium too. Now, does this mean you can never enjoy a macadamia nut again? Not necessarily. but they should be treated like a rare indulgence, not a daily snack. Because your body, especially after 65, doesn't process rich, fatty foods the same way it used to. If you're craving something smooth and satisfying, reach for a handful of pistachios or a spoon of natural almond butter instead. Your heart and your digestive system will thank you. Now, up next is a nut that's often sprinkled on salads, added to sauces, or used in gourmet recipes. But hidden behind its fancy name is a danger that most people, especially seniors, never see coming. Let's talk about the number one nut to avoid after 65, pine nuts. Number 1. Pine nuts. Pine nuts. They're small, elegant, even considered gourmet. Sprinkled on salads, blended into pestos, tucked into artisan dishes that seem healthy at first glance. But if you're over 65, pine nuts might be the most dangerous nut in your pantry. Let's start with something most people have never heard of: pine nut syndrome. It's real, and it's far more common than you think. After eating pine nuts, some people experience a strange side effect: a lingering bitter metallic taste in the mouth. It can last for days or even weeks, and it's not just annoying. It can kill your appetite, distort your sense of taste, and lead to unintended weight loss, which is especially risky for seniors who already struggle to maintain healthy weight and nutrition. But that's only the beginning. Pine nuts also contain high levels of polyunsaturated fats. Now, while some of these fats are good for you, they oxidize quickly, meaning they can go rancid fast and become pro-inflammatory. For seniors already dealing with arthritis, joint swelling, or autoimmune issues, that extra inflammation can be painful and hard to manage. But here's where it gets even more serious. Pine nuts can interfere with medications. Research has shown that certain compounds in pine nuts may interact with enzymes in the liver, enzymes that are responsible for breaking down medications. And here's the shocking part: these interactions can affect over 60% of the most commonly prescribed medications for seniors. That means your pills, whether for blood pressure, cholesterol, or diabetes, may not work the way they should if pine nuts are quietly interfering. And because most people don't associate a tiny little nut with medication problems, they never suspect the cause. So while pine nuts might look elegant on a plate, they can wreak havoc behind the scenes. From your taste buds to your medications to your joints. Avoid them. There are safer, smarter choices for flavor and nutrition. Now, let's bring it all together and talk about what this really means for your long-term health. So here's what we now know. The nuts you choose, something as small as what you snack on between meals, can shape the way your body feels, functions, and ages. Because after 65, every bite matters more. We talked about the 4 best nuts your body actually needs. Almonds, for strong bones, a healthy heart, and smoother digestion. Walnuts, for mental clarity, brain protection, and better blood flow. Pistachios, gentle on the teeth, powerful for the heart, and supportive of vision. And Brazil nuts, nature's secret for thyroid balance, mood, and energy, in just 1 or 2 bites. But we also uncovered the 4 that can quietly work against you. Peanuts, often contaminated with aflatoxins and overloaded with omega-6. Cashews, high in carbs, oxalates, and risky for bones and kidneys. Macadamia nuts, rich and creamy, but heavy in saturated fats and hard to digest. And pine nuts, small but dangerous, interfering with medications and disturbing your sense of taste. These aren't small issues. They're slow, silent shifts that can add up over time, leading to pain, fatigue, memory loss, or worse. But here's the good news. The solution is simple. By swapping just a few nuts in your diet, you can improve your energy, digestion, memory, heart health, and even your sleep. That's the power of informed choices. Tiny habits, big results. So I want to hear from you. Have you ever felt bloated or sluggish after eating certain nuts? Or maybe you've experienced the benefits of switching to healthier ones. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story could help someone else. And if you found value in this video, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another senior health tip. We're building a community here, one that empowers you to take control of your health, one small step at a time. Because aging well isn't about luck. It's about knowledge. It's about action. And it's about never settling for less than the vibrant, active life you deserve. Thank you for spending your time here with me today. Take care of your heart. Protect your brain. And stay strong, one bite at a time. See you in the next video.